I am completely nervous opening this. What the? Welcome back to the journey, everyone. So let's set the stage on how I even got to attempt to buy a Millennium Falcon. So what makes the collecting community great is that when somebody needs help, the collecting community is always there to try and do what they can to help each other out, no matter the situation. I mean, someone can even be having a bad day, and by just offering words of support, it can help change somebody's life. And that is a true community. But sometimes we need a little bit more than that. So when my friend John over at the Super Awesome Geek Show reached out to the community to help his brother, who is undergoing super expensive cancer treatments, they needed some help, and we were all there to support. So the Super Awesome Geek Show held an auction on his channel, and a lot of the collecting community showed up. And they not only bid and bought items, but they donated almost every single item on that auction block. And one of those items was donated by Andy over at the Chronicles YouTube channel. And of course, it was the Millennium Falcon. And it was the first item up for bid. Now, if you're a subscriber of my channel and you've watched all the episodes, then you know the rules of my collecting run. And if you aren't a subscriber and haven't checked out my past episodes, please subscribe and go back and catch up on those episodes right now. So, just to update you, I'm collecting the entire Kenner line starting from 1977 and ending in 1985, and I'm doing a loose figure run. And well, a couple of play sets, like the Jabba playset that I got, and I also have the turret and probot set in my sights. And we got gifted a twin cloud car for my friend Eben the Collector, who's right here on YouTube. But we haven't bought any ships or vehicles yet because it's not on our run, and we're not allowed to get that. Technically, it's against the rules to even buy a ship or a vehicle, but when a friend is in need and it's a ship that I've always dreamed of owning, and when it's being donated by a friend of the channel who's offering a great and quality piece, then you break all the rules and you help a friend out. So like I said, it was the first item that was being auctioned off. And I'm gonna be honest, there was a little bidding war, but there was no way that I was gonna let this ship out of my sight. I mean, Vader would have been proud how hard I was pursuing this ship. So let's just say that we put up a number that nobody was gonna contest. Because one, we wanted the ship. And two, when you're at an auction to help out a friend, let's be honest, you overbid. So we picked it up. And now we're gonna unbox this bad boy. We're gonna examine it, and we're gonna go through the entire history of the Millennium Falcon. So let's go. Oh my goodness, I am completely nervous opening this. God, I've always wanted one of these. I mean, what kid didn't want a Millennium Falcon? I'm nervous opening this. All right, here we go. Oh my God. And to be honest, I've never held one of these, and it came with a note. Congrats on winning the Falcon, Joey. It truly is the greatest toy ever made. Remember that all parts are original, and as always, be gentle with it. Happy hunting. Andy and Josh from the Chronicles. And I always save these notes in my scrapbook for my entire run, so thanks a lot, guys. Ah, this is so cool actually holding it. Oh my gosh, this is so freaking cool. So we'll put this to the side. Oh my goodness, wow. Wow, there's so many parts to this thing. Holy moly, it's huge. Wow, this thing is big. Here's the parts for it. So I have to go through this and put it together. And we're gonna do that right there at the desk. And look, look what they brought too. Wisdom Wash from Dr. Squatch. Ooh, this smells really good. Why smell like a Wookiee when you could smell like a Jedi? Ah. Dr. Squatch. Hey, if you want to smell like a Wookiee, smell like a Wookiee. Nothing wrong with that. Want to make sure there's no other parts in here. That's so freaking cool. Wow, just looking at it and touching it like for the first time. We're gonna do a complete review on this thing. God, I just want to look at it and examine it and like admire it. Holy moly, this thing is cool. All right, so now let's go through the entire history of the Millennium Falcon. And the only information that we got from the original Star Wars movie was directly from Han Solo. The name of the ship, the Millennium Falcon. It's a Carillion light freighter. And it did the Kessel Run in just over 12 parsecs. And there's some facts about a parsec that I want you to know, but we'll explain that later. He won it from Lando Calrissian fair and square. And Leia thinks it's a piece of junk. So really that's all the info that we got from the Millennium Falcon, at least from the 3 movies. But since then, thanks to sites like Wikipedia, comics, novels, and the new Star Wars movies, we have learned this. The original name of the Millennium Falcon was the Stellar Envoy, factory number YT492727ZED. It's a Corellian YT1300F light freighter, built by the Orbital Assembly Factory 7 and owned by the Corellian Engineering Company. At the time of the Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker, the Millennium Falcon would be more than 90 years old. Lando Calrissian won the Stellar Envoy in a game of Sabacc and changed its registration officially to the Millennium Falcon. It was Lando who modified the Falcon for speed and smuggling, which in turn made the ship faulty to breakdowns but matched any starfighter in maneuverability and weapons payload. The ship's navicomputer is actually the droid known as L3, who belonged to Lando Calrissian. And it was Han Solo who won the Falcon from Lando in a game of Sabacc. So now let's talk about the Kessel Run. Han said he did the Kessel Run in slightly over 12 parsecs. But a parsec is a measure of distance, not time. So the next time an astrophysicist is around, you can ask them about this and just watch their eyes light up. So they kind of used a parsec in the wrong way in the Star Wars galaxy. But hey, Han is the ultimate at the Kessel Run. Now let's get into the features of this awesomely designed ship by Kenner. The Falcon was one of the first ships designed by Kenner starting in 1976, but the first production models weren't available for the store shelves until the Christmas season of 1979. The Kenner team went through dozens of wooden molds and reshaping the features of the ship so that a 3.75-inch figure could work in its playability, while at the same time making the ship able to fit on regular store shelves for practical sales purposes. If the Falcon was made at a 1-to-1 scale with a 3.75-inch figure, the vintage ship would have been about 190 centimeters long, or 6.23 feet. The ship stands on 3 landing gears that are all retractable. The forward gear can be used when holding the ship while playing to simulate flying the Falcon through space. The entrance ramp fully lowers and retracts. The cockpit can fit 2 figures only due to the rescale, but we know that in early designs, Kenner had a prototype that held 4 figures. You can remove the cockpit canopy, but like the Slave 1 cockpit canopy, you can easily break the teeth that hold the canopy into place, so it's best advised not to remove the canopy often or at all if you can avoid it. The most awesome feature is the large living area that holds a number of play areas for figures. Although it's not a 1-to-1 layout of the actual movie version of the Falcon, Kenner did a great job to capture the essence into the toy and engineering practical layouts. There are several pegs on the floor base where you can position and display your figures. There's an area where you can train Luke Skywalker and also a black Jedi training ball that's tied to a rope and attached to a black arm so you can simulate that scene of Luke being trained by Ben Kenobi. Unfortunately, I have this missing, but we're getting the training ball donated to us from Nilda at Appetite for Collectibles, so I just want to thank Nilda, and please head over to her YouTube channel for insane toy hunts and pickups, both vintage and modern. So if anybody has that arm, let me know because I will buy it from you. There's also a smuggling floor where Han could smuggle his contraband, spice, but you can also use it to store your accessories and store your figures. And there's a feature that many don't know about. You can attach the floor panel to the removable roof on the Falcon when not in use. Pretty cool, right? Let me know in the comments if you knew about that feature. Another play area had the holographic table where you can play Dejeric. And if anyone knows of a custom minigame pieces to put on the table, let us all know in the comments. The gunner station was also located in the play area, and it connected to a rotating chair that seated figures and makes a clicking sound as it rotates. The station connects to the outer cannons that rotate with the chair. an awesome feature. The top of the ship has a round version of the radar dish. The ship is shaped much like the movie design though, and bravo to the designers at Kenner for achieving this, as well as the small details in the mold features. On a side compartment of the ship is an opening to place 2 large C batteries that produce the famous Kenner laser sound. The Falcon got a release with every movie in the original trilogy and got 4 different types of box art, with the Empire Strikes Back boxes getting 2 different photos. The first one being the reissue of the photo from the original Star Wars art box. The first 1979 release for the Falcon retailed for $29.99. Another fun fact was that in the Power of the Force line of toys that ran from 1984 to 1986, the Falcon was supposed to get an accessory add-on. It was going to be called the F-LER, or Freight Loading External Rover. And this rover was supposed to fit in between the front mandibles of the Falcon. But since the Star Wars Kenner line ended officially in 1986, the idea was scrapped and never made it to the toy shelves. It wasn't until Solo, a Star Wars story, where we saw this feature actualized on the screen. So right now, what does this Millennium Falcon cost? Well, right now, looking at the Star Wars tracker, for a loose complete version of the Falcon, you are looking at an average price range from $200 on the low end to about $300 on the high end. And if you want to get a boxed version of the original Star Wars Falcon from 1979, an open box will cost from $400 on the low end to $500 on average, with a mint-in sealed box of the same era costing at least $1,500 depending on box condition. And what is this Falcon without a pilot? So we went ahead and picked up a figure that we needed that was fitting for this ship. Now, we already have both the small head and big head Han, so we're gonna get the Han Solo in his Bespin outfit. And this figure was first released on Wave 3 of the Empire Strikes Back 41A cards and the Palitoy 30B cards, and it came with the blue Bespin blaster. We picked up this figure on eBay, and there is some significant rub on his hands, and we'll be looking to buy this figure already graded for our loose graded run, but for our display case and our Falcon, this figure is perfect for now. And we can bring out our childhood Chewbacca that I've had since 1980, and we can have him and our childhood Lando pilot the Falcon for now until I can find a beater Han to place next to Chewie. So let's go ahead and mark off the Bespin Han from our list, and we got that from eBay for $19.96 with shipping and tax included. And let's also mark off the Falcon, which yes, for a loose, incomplete version is overpaying, but it went to a very good cause. And that's what matters the most. And I want to thank John over at the Super Awesome Geek Show for hosting the auction, and please, everyone, go support him at his YouTube channel, the Super Awesome Geek Show, as well as Josh and Andy over at the Holochronicles channel on YouTube. So head on over there, subscribe to them, and join some awesome collecting communities. And thank you for going on a quest with me to complete the entire collection of the Kenner line. And I finally picked up this dream ship that I have wanted since I was a kid. And we picked up an awesome Han Solo inside his Bespin outfit. So let's place this Han inside our gorgeous collector display case, and a link to get their case is down there in my description. And if you found this video interesting, please hit that like button. It does support the channel. And we finally have our own merch store. So head on down to the descriptions to get your hands on some Padawan collector gear. And yes, there's even some Rami and Jaws gear. And there are links down there for items that you may need for your collecting journey. And when you do click and buy from those links, it does support the channel. So thank you for that. And join me on all my other social media channels. The links to those are on my YouTube homepage. And if you want to see more collecting content from me, please hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you can know when videos go live. I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And as always, my friends, thank you, and I will see you next time. Where in the heck am I gonna put this thing? Oh, you got an acrylic? We got an acrylic. It's not much, kid, but she's got it where it counts. I'm out of my Falcon mind. All right, bye.
If you're new to the channel, check out the welcome video, or just check out the next episode. And please subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And remember, there is no shame in being a Padawan.